Well, after 3 years of traveling, do you remember anything about the last gig in Helsinki and in Oulu?
I remember it very well because it was very strange to be on the same bill as Bad Manners. Obviously a totally different sort of music, but they were really good people, and we had a really good time. You know, it was really good fun. In fact, we met with them a couple of times since then. We sort of kept in touch a bit, and it was really good fun. You know, it's just something for us at the time was very different. We hadn't really done hardly any gigs outside Britain then, so it was something really new for us to play to, you know, a completely new audience.
Yeah. Well, it's often said that the heavy metal is music for the working class kids. Do you see that connection in Iron Maiden?
Well, we seem to go down very well in sort of big industrial places and everything all across the world, but I don't really think that's just because of that. I think it's because it's just as very highly populated, and there is just a lot of people who like heavy rock music. I mean, whether they're working class or whatever, I don't think it really, you know, comes into it that much. I mean,
not even in Britain.
In Britain, it's more so that way. Yeah, it is. Seems to be a working class thing because a lot of the fans, you know, maybe some of them haven't got jobs, but the ones that, you know, have got jobs or stuff, they come home from work and they want to go and have a good time. They want to sort of forget their problems or whatever hassles they've got. They just like to go to the gig and have a really good time in it. And like heavy rock bands, give them a good time, you know.
Yeah, it just works a little bit like an escape from the working.
Yeah,
everyday work.
Yeah. It's not just the work. I think it's just all sorts of problems, you know, no matter what problem someone's got, you know, they can sort of just put them to one side and think, yeah, I'm going to have a good time tonight and forget all about it. For 2 hours. You know? Whatever, yeah.
Have you ever played any other music than, say, heavy metal?
Well, I used to be in a band before Maiden, which, well, actually is a long time ago now, because I've been in Maiden for about 7.5 years. It was a band called Smiler, and we were just doing, like, pubs and clubs, but it was like rock band, but it was sort of more like rock and blues, you know. It was playing like early Fleetwood Mac stuff and Savoy Brown and people like that, which I don't know if you've heard of Savoy Brown, but you know, it's more sort of like bluesy type stuff, which wasn't really the sort of music I wanted to play. But I joined the band because, you know, they were a lot older than me, and I was could learn a lot, and plus playing different styles that I'd never played before, you learn a lot from that as well. You know, it's really good. I enjoyed it.
Have you any ambitions beside music ever?
No, mainly my ambitions is, you know, is to do well with the band and everything. I've got other interests. I wouldn't say ambitions. I mean, I did when I was younger. I had ambitions to be a professional footballer, but I mean that was a different thing altogether anyway. I mean, I couldn't do that now, you know. Anyway, so not really. Any great ambitions? Not really, no.
But when this sometimes stops, what are you going to do?
I don't like to think about that. I hope this can carry on for a good few years, yeah, so I don't really have to sort of worry about that, maybe, you know. It's not the sort of thing I like to think about too often, really, because I love playing so much. I don't really want to think about the time when I have to stop.
What's your favourite football team?
West Ham United.
West Ham?
Yeah.
Oh, the Brooking.
Brooking, yeah.
Yeah, it got a Finnish wife.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
They all know it,
yeah.
Will your 10th album be the same beautiful creature on the cover?
I don't know, he might have died by then, I think. He's not well at the moment, he's had an operation at the moment, so he's not very well. We've put him away in a straitjacket, you know. I should think he'd still be around. I mean, I can't see us getting rid of him. He wouldn't let us, you know.
What's the best heavy metal band in history?
In history? Oh, that's a hard question, really. Well, there's several really I like. I think Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple were classic bands. If you're talking about heavy rock bands, but then again, they weren't just heavy rock bands. I think they had a lot other sort of styles that they were playing, you know, which were not just heavy rock. I think there's been so many good bands over the years that there's not really any one that I could say was the best one, really. I like lots of them.
So how does it feel after these 3 years of hard work? It
Well,
must worth
it feels very satisfying to see that in such a short space of time, because we have toured so much, that things have really gone so well. You know, it's fantastic, really. I mean, I never thought three or 4 years ago, when we was playing the clubs and pubs in London, I never thought that I'd be sitting here in somewhere like Finland, you know, doing interviews and coming to do gigs in Scandinavia and Japan and Australia. It's fantastic, you know.
And sell some millions of records.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't expect that sort of thing, you know. It's obviously you have ambitions to do really well, but when you start off in Britain, you don't tend to think outside of that. You just think you want to do well there, and you don't really expect it to sort of be a worldwide thing, you know. We were very surprised that everything started to take off, you know, in other parts of the world as well. It was fantastic.
Well, how's done financially altogether? I mean, if the gigs are losing, but the record are just
yeah, the main
get some
thing.
money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The main thing is, you know, like sort of go and play places, and then you know, if your record sells well, then you can make a bit of money. But it's not really the money thing that we're. To be truthful, it sounds corny, but that's not. We're not in it for the money. We're in it for the playing. You know, basically, we just love. That's why another reason why we tour so much, because it does cost a lot of money to tour. So we could just say, oh no, we don't want to tour, and just like, you know, sell records and just keep the money and not bother to tour. But we love playing, so that's the main thing. It's what we always wanted to do. Even when we were playing pubs and clubs, we wanted to just tour, even if it was like, first of all, we just thought, yeah, we want to tour Britain, because we never thought of outside that. And once it got to the point where we were selling records elsewhere, so it enabled us to tour there, fantastic, you know, to be able to, you know, basically, I'm getting paid for doing my hobby, you know, that's the way I look at it. You know, it's not really, it's not a job at all.
Do you see you playing in the future in any other band than Iron Maiden?
No, not really, not at the moment, no.
So what we are expecting to do this night at Ice Hall? What are the people going to get for the money?
Well, they get 2 hours of non-stop rock, you know. There's special effects. The lighting is very special. The whole lighting rig moves. I won't tell you too much about the special effects because it'll spoil it if you know otherwise. But people will definitely be in for a treat, I think, for the visuals alone. And obviously, if they get off on the music, that's the main thing. But I think even people that maybe are not really into heavy rock would probably enjoy the show, I think, anyway.
Will that Your Beautiful Creature perform this?
Oh yeah, he'll be performing, he'll be coming out on stage, yeah. Eddie, yeah. He'll be there.